Chag Sameach to all of you celebrating the festival of Sukkot. Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10 Minute Torah, day number 2, the Torah portion, V'zot haBracha. In just a moment, we're going to go into Deuteronomy chapter number 33, beginning with verse number 6. And we'll try to cover today Reu'ven, Yehudah, and Levi. Before I do, I want to say happy Sukkot to all of you who are celebrating. If you're celebrating with a group, living in your tent, your RV, your motel room, if that's what you're doing, however you're celebrating, may the joy of the Most High fill your camp. May a greater revelation of Yeshua as Messiah be granted to you all. Happy feast days, happy festival before Yah. You're celebrating by yourself. Don't be down. Build your sukkah, set it up, do whatever you got to do, however you do it. But in your faithfulness, may the Father favor you and encourage you and visit with you, and may you be filled with the great joy of Yah. You're one among those many that are watching 10 Minute Torah that haven't learned yet about the feast days. You're just beginning. I invite you to study the word in Leviticus chapter 23 and begin to understand what it is that Yah is calling us to do. The great festivals of the Most High. We'll talk more about that a little later on in the year. Until then, let's go now to Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse number 6, that says, "Let Reu'ven live and not die, and let his men be numbered." Now, Moshe is offering a prophetic word of blessing just prior to his going into the realm of the Spirit. If you will recall, at the end of the book of Genesis, or Bereshit, you will see that Yaakov, Israel, is about to die. Before he pulls his feet up into the bed, lays down, and just simply goes to sleep, he offers an insightful spiritual blessing upon each one of his sons. There is a rabbinical understanding that I believe has a good deal of merit here. That is in the transition from this life into the life that is yet to come. That they're in this spiritual arena that for them is heightened. That they're more keenly discerning the spiritual application of things. And they're able then to pronounce things with a greater reality than what we might be discerning in our physical realm. So it is now, and perhaps with the case of Moshe. Moshe is going to finish these words. He's going to climb the mountain. He's going to see the land, and then he's going to die. So he's just hours away, perhaps even less, depending on how long it took him to climb the mountain. He's just a short time away, we'll say, from entering into that other realm. Perhaps he's already stepping into and discerning the will, the heart, and the vision of the Most High. And he says to Reu'ven, "May you live and not die." Well, that's got to be encouraging. We all want to live, and we all want to not die. Why would he bless Reu'ven in such a manner? Well, perhaps for a couple of reasons. One is Reu'ven was among 2.5 tribes, Reu'ven, Gad, and half of the tribe of Manasseh, who were to settle outside the proper boundaries of the land of Israel. They've seen the land of Bashan, the land of the Amorites that they took from Sihon, king of the Amorites, and they've seen that it's good pasture land, and indeed it is. They had a lot of herds, a lot of flocks, and they thought, there's no better place on earth than for us to be here. So let's build our homes here and our corrals here, our fences here for ourselves. Moshe was not keen on that idea. He said, you're going to discourage all the other brothers from settling inside the land, to which Reu'ven, Gad, and half of the tribe of Manasseh that Moshe placed there, they had to go before the rest of their brothers into the time of conquest, leading their armies against their adversaries so that all the other tribal brothers could receive their inheritance. So for two reasons then, Reuven is outside the proper boundaries of Israel, and as such, may not be afforded the level of protection and guard from the Shekinah, the manifested presence of Yah, that would be within the boundaries of Israel proper. Secondly, in that he is going to lead the charge, his men are going to be on the front lines. May the favor of Yah grant them that when they enter into battle, that they not be killed, but rather that they overcome their adversaries and that they live. So it is a positional blessing, but it is also a military blessing. That is one to be desired. We're outside the land of Israel. We're in exile. While we're in exile, may we live and not die. And may, as we fight the battles that are presenting themselves before us, may we overcome our adversaries and live and not be taken out. Secondly, we begin to read in verse number 7 of Yehudah. And he said, "Hear Yahweh, the voice of Yehudah, and bring him to his people. His hands shall fight for him. You be a help against his enemies." The blessing that Yehudah receives is that he be heard. There's a lot of hearing that is necessary for this particular tribe. This is the tribe that we predominantly call the Jews. Yah hear his prayers. There are a lot of folks that have erroneously taught that Yah has cast off the Jewish people and replaced them with the church. That's a horrible doctrine that is demonic in its origins. Yah has never cast off our Jewish brothers. And when they pray, whether we understand how they're heard or not, it doesn't make any difference. The prophetic blessing announced upon them is that when the Jews pray, when they're at the Wailing Wall, when they're in their particular synagogues and they're lifting up their liturgies and their prayers, when they're going through the Amidah prayer in the mornings, Yah is hearing them because the scripture requests Yah to do so. Ephesians chapter 2 says that we're both heard, us and our brother Yehudah are both heard through the same Spirit. Check that out. And so we understand then that Yah hears him and that he hears him in his time of battle. When our Jewish brethren pray pertaining to battles, obviously Yah has heard them, for they have won miraculous victories against overwhelming odds time and again, and they will do so again in the future. Further, Simeon, is not listed among these tribes, but rather his inheritance is found inside the boundaries of Yehudah. His name just happens to mean to hear. So there is hearing contained within the confines of the tribe of Yehudah. And then we read about Levi. And of Levi he said, "Your Tumim and your Urim belong to your lovingly committed one, whom you tried at Messiah, whom you contended with at the waters of Meribah, who said of his father and mother, I have not seen them. And he did not acknowledge his brothers, nor know his own children, for they have guarded your word and watched over your covenant. The teacher right rulings to Yaakov and your Torah to Israel. They put incense before you and a complete ascending offering on your slaughter place. O Yahweh, bless his strength and accept the work of his hands. Smite the loins of those who rise against him. Now those who hate him, that they rise no more." Levi does not receive a tribal allotment, but rather he has cities that are scattered among the tribes. They're given a place within other tribal settlements. Yah blesses Levi's spiritual leadership and his authority to teach the Torah and have right understanding. And then he gives this ominous warning. Those who rise up against him, be careful that you do not speak against the Levitical priesthood, For Yah will smite the loins and destroy those who do so. Give honor to whom honor is due, that Yah has set apart. We'll pick up here tomorrow, and until then, shalom.